I'm gonna start this conversation by saying, hi. Do you like my outfit today? Okay, so topics are this. My past India trip. How did it go? It went pretty well. Some things were kind of crazy. Like, I got held hostage in one hotel because the payment didn't go through. I told him I have an invoice. It's right here. And I have a receipt. Are you insane? Anyway, the other group of people, I think it has something to do with the agency here, and I sort of changed them now. Anyway, aside from that, it was wonderful. I had a bunch of men, lots of love. If you could tell, my nose is a little stuffy. It's the season. It's transitioning. And my nose just gets stuffy when it's transit. I don't know. Anyway. So it was beautiful in that regard. Like, I had beautiful men. I rode a camel. I drove a moped again. And I come to realize, if you want a moped in Canada, for instance, it's cold. Like, there's only like 2 months in a year I think I can ride it. Like, you know what I mean? Anyway, so and then being myself as a trans person, in some ways I felt like it was more acceptable, but in other ways, I don't know what it is. I think people will accept you for who you are much more individually. Collectively, they don't know what to make of it. Collectively, everything is always open in India, but it's always remained open. It's like there's never a concrete decision, and certain people might decide something, and then it will change constantly. It's like a constant changing thing. So I kind of like that in its own way. I think my only problem is my insecurity, because you go there, you don't know the language too much. Like, we have it in our language. Like, my family's from the Balkans. We're mixed with everything. Roma Gypsies, which are old Indians and everything. And we have it in our language. Certain Hindi words, Turkish words, every kind of words. Okay? Slavic words, Latin words. But the thing is, okay, like, I don't know the whole language. Nowhere close. So there's the language, there's the new terrain. Then you realize but the terrain came very natural to me. Like the terrain, like the area, like. So that was kind of nice. While I was there, I met someone through a friend that I know. So I have a friend that I met in Canada, okay? His name is Narinder. Narinder and me were hanging out, this and that, yada, yada, yada. And then I go over there to India, and Narinder meets up with me, but brings his friend, who's a writer in Bollywood. And when I heard writer in Bollywood, I went, ding, 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 ding. Like, it just clicked. I went, I'm a performer. I sing, act, and dance. I've done a lot of things, like stripped, etc. Anyway, I said to him, I want a role, but as a trans person. I don't want to, like, do something I'm not me, He says, yeah, I'll get you it. Which leads to my next segment, the new trips. So the new trips, yeah, that happened with the Bollywood thing. And I think I'm going to go to Nepal. I'm not going to say when, because the walls have ears, Martha. But anyway, so yeah, I want to see the mountains. Last time I didn't see the mountains because last time I was only there for like 5 days in Nepal. But I did a lot. I saw a lot of the temples, etc. I met a friend, sort of slept with him. Anyway, Now I met a whole sequence of friends, and I drove a moped around the mountains in Nepal. And I was dressed up like me. People loved me. I was shocked. You can feel, people can feel energy, like no matter where you go. And I think there's something about North America. We're a little, sometimes I guess everybody feels like that about their place where they live the most. But so yeah, that's gonna happen. And then I'm gonna rekindle with friends, like I mentioned. It's gonna be left as a surprise. I'm not gonna tell people when I'm going. And then what else is there? There's when I come back. When I come back, I was thinking I would really like to have a Honda Civic. Red and black, pink rims. As new as possible with the lowest amount of mileage. Oh, that would be so great. And then I can do like Uber Eats on it, on the side. Drive to school for part-time. Like, it's a no-brainer. You know what I mean? That's whichever school, whatever happens with school, etc., etc. What else is there? Yeah, I kind of want to start accepting more help from people, because once we're around people, we're not around no one. We have to accept our help from people. It's a little bit of a side note, but I got taken out by one guy. He's just a friend. But he took me out to a beautiful restaurant called The Keg. It's supposed to be a steak restaurant, but I'm a vegetarian. Well, I cheat sometimes, but I really, my 90% of everything I eat is vegetarian. And very rarely does a moment occur where something has a little bit of chicken. I refuse to have beef. And I don't even want chicken. But occasionally I'll have a little bit of chicken and fish just to get the stuff that I need, even though I know that I could get those things without that. But I never buy it myself. I never buy chicken and fish. But I have to stick, I like sticking on this healthy diet. It's just good. Whatever. Anyway. So, yeah, accepting help is an important thing, I think, in life, because if you don't accept it, what are you doing? You know what I mean? So I thought I would go a little bit on assistance to help support me with my work. Look, everybody goes on assistance. Everybody accepts help, I used to feel bad. I don't want to feel bad anymore. And, I used to feel bad about everything. I think that was imposed on me. I think it's a horrible thing to go through. And now I just shedded all that crap. I said, screw this, Last point. I have another YouTube channel. I don't know if I'm allowed to or not, but it's geared more to singing. But I sing on that channel based on songs that are usually not my songs. So that way I can separate this, which I would like to monetize, this channel, and that channel, which won't be monetized, but will be co-promoted by this channel for my feedback on singing and stuff. I'm not claiming to be the best singer in the world, but goodness, do I sing decent certain songs when practiced properly. So, to say the least. And people say I have a good singing voice. So I'll probably sing on that channel, which is connected through my phone. That way I can be outside and sing it a little bit, like just a little tune, here and there. Practice certain tones. And then eventually see if somebody likes something that I sang. Because maybe they'll say, you know what? Come to Bollywood. We want you to sing a piece or two, and pass the microphone. That's what people, that's what I like about Bollywood. There's so much diversity in how they, the heck is happening with this bra? with how they, how they perform, Like, in Bollywood, I'm saying they. Yeah, that's it. So that's a little. I thought I would do a little sum up because sometimes I said I haven't done a video in a while. Trans parade is coming up. I'm gonna go to that. The lesbian one I tend to skip because I get tired from the trans one, and then the pride one I come because everybody goes there and it's big and I like it. And then after that, I'm gonna go to the Indian festival. So that's pretty much the sum up of what the plan is. The God's willing or whatever. And that's all. Do you like my style? My shirt? Bye.